Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Ooh, my favorite segment, the NBA segment, baby.
We got NBA talk.
Yeah, man. Seth, I want to talk about these Warriors, man. Not looking like the Warriors of the past. I know Steph's been in and out of the lineup. I know they've been without Andrew Wiggins now for some time. He's dealing with some personal issues. Draymond's been pretty banged up. But the games that they're dropping is just a little bit of unfamiliar territory, at least from what I witnessed over the years of watching the Warriors. We watched this team make it to the finals 5 straight years. After that loss to the Raptors, that bubble season stuff goes down for damn near the whole season. They end up getting the number 1 draft pick, draft Jameis Wiseman. That following year, Klay Thompson is still recovering to get back. They lose in the play-in tournament to the Memphis Grizzlies. And now, and then you had the previous season that they just won the title.
Right.
This year, they just look out of sync. I don't want to say championship hangover because we're already about to be in the next year's playoffs, and I expect a veteran group like this to have been flipped the switch either post-New Year, post-All-Star break. But, they're dropping games to, no offense, your Atlanta Hawks. And, it doesn't look like this Warriors team of the past that we could just say, they could turn it on. They look beatable. So, I want to hear some of your thoughts on what you think is going on with Golden State right now.
I think that's a great question, bro. If I had to pinpoint anything, I think when you look at it in totality, right, I think this Golden State Warriors dynasty has been a dynasty for a long time, right? And you mentioned they went through their injuries, right, in that whole KD era. They suffered the Steph injury. They kind of did some revamping. James Wiseman, Kuminga, DiVincenzo. They brought in a lot of new guys, and they won the championship last year. But I think we got to sit back and say, when they were going back and forth with LeBron, and then when they got KD, and then when they lost KD, maybe that was the dynasty, right? That was the dynasty. That was the Golden State Warriors as we know it. Last year, not that it was an anomaly, because Steph Curry is maybe a top 10 player of all time when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's not to say that that's that, but all good things come to an end, right? So maybe that was the last championship for the Golden State Warriors as it's constructed with that big three, if you will. I think Draymond may not be there next year.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's just we hold them to a higher standard, right, because they're the Warriors and because they've been the San Antonio Spurs of our decade, right? But I think it's coming to a close, bro. I think a lot of these teams the NBA is catching up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of these players are shooting threes and teams are figuring it out. Teams are closing that gap, if you will. But yeah, bro, I just think we hold them to a higher standard. But I think that dynasty has been over. They just won a championship last year, and I don't expect the dynasty. Like, when they won last year, I don't think nobody expected them to win. And I don't think nobody expects them to win again this year. Like, I think they did win, but it's not like, this is a sustainable dynasty. In my eyes, at least. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think so, too, bro. I agree with a lot of that. I think right now, I think Steve Kerr's voice in the locker room is getting old. He's a phenomenal coach. But I think, like you said, all things must come to an end. And, Draymond's contract is up. I don't think they re-sign him. I think that Wiggins not being there is a huge loss.
Sorry to cut you off. Why is he out? I haven't.
We hate, talking about
I don't the personal
issues, but the rumor that's going around that was started by this random guy on TikTok, and it's all speculation, but supposedly he might be having issues with his wife, and she might be having an affair. His kid might not be his. Gotcha. Everybody's confused on what's the truth, what's going on. So, just want to send Andrew Wiggins our love at the time and shit like that.
Absolutely.
Whatever he's dealing with, he gets through it.
But
he's a big piece because their defense has been so lackluster this year, especially with him being out. He was their second best player in the finals last year.
Yeah,
averaged around like 18 to 20 points. He was like 8 to 9 rebounds. He was really making things tough on Tatum. He made stuff on Luke. Things tough on Luka. So I think his presence is missed dearly. I still think the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation, I don't think that's just something that they swept under the rug at the fly and didn't really adjust. So I think that, you ignore it because at the end of the day, they're professionals and shit like that. But I just, I don't see that, I don't see that being something that, they just moved past like that, even though it could seem like that. And I also think that Jordan Poole, at times, he's phenomenal, but at times he can have cancer issues. True. And, I kind of compare it to like Russ. Russ could be out there Russ is going to give you 1,000, but are you getting that Russ that is giving you 1,000% of what you need, or is it 1,000% of he's hurting you and you can't really play him in the fourth? Jordan Poole has dumb turnovers. He takes stupid shots. Sometimes it's hard for him to defer to the guys that built this dynasty. So, can they turn it around? Absolutely, bro. Like this is a team that they're battle tested. They have the experience. They've been through some things. But I just, there's certain series that I don't think that they could come out of if they continue to play like this. I think they need to pick it up. I don't think this team, at the age that they're at, the injuries that they're dealing with, I don't think they want to go into the play-in. I think they need to secure the fifth or sixth seed. Get a little rest under their belt, and then go into the playoffs focused. So
I agree.
Golden State they gotta get it together, man.
Yeah, they gotta get it together, bro. But that's a hell of a point with the Andrew Wiggins thing, bro. Because you are 1,000% correct. He was the second best player in that. I think in the whole entire playoffs. Clay was still getting his feet under him. But Andrew Wiggins played big on both ends of the floor, and that helped them to that championship. So that's a hell of a point.
He needed that, man. So hopefully they could turn it around, man. We'll see. All right, man. This is the one I've been a little excited for. I know nobody's taking them seriously, but the Kings are on their way to. First of all, they have a winning record for the first time in 17 years.
Wow!
And they arguably are about to clinch the second seed. I think they only have to win like maybe 1 or 2 more games before that they're able to clinch that right there. So I think this is big, like for the diehard Sacramento fans that's been there since the early 2000s, during the Webber era, during that Lakers series that they was fucking cheated out of and shit. So take me through, like, was you surprised by this? And do you think the Kings are poised for maybe like a second round, playoff series?
So I think everybody in the world, that like every continent across the globe, is surprised about the Sacramento Kings, bro. I don't think nobody's seen this coming, especially not me. But at the same time, like you said, you tipped your hat to them. I know their fans are going crazy, and as they should. 17 years is a long-ass time, bro.
It's a long time.
Long-ass time. So you tipped your hat to them. Now, to answer the second part of your question, I do think they can get to a second round and make some noise. The thing with the NBA is, bro, it's a 7-game series, and usually the better players will win these games. Can win 4 games, bro. It's just usually, unless you get some injuries or something like that. But for Sacramento's sake and their fans' sake, I hope they don't run into the Lakers. I hope the Lakers not the 7th seed, bro. Because if they are, then it's a great building stone, right? You got a lot of young players, building block. It's a lot of young players on that team. But I just think, and maybe I'm being a little biased because I'm a LeBron guy, but I think if you get a healthy LeBron with the way this Lakers team is playing, they lost a few recently, but AD, playing the way AD should play, and a LeBron back with these guys, I don't think Sacramento can beat them. Maybe Game 7, but I hope they play somebody else, because then maybe they'll get there. They'll get there, bro.
Man,
That's where I'm at with it.
I think too. I think when you go back and you look at that offseason move that they made when you trade a player like Tyrese Halliburton and you go out and get Sabonis, and it was kind of like, who do we go with here? Are we riding with our guy that we had the past 3 years in De'Aaron Fox? And I think both sides kind of won the trade. The Pacers was doing all right for a good portion of the year, and they've kind of trailed back. But I think Sabonis complements this team so well.
Can I bring up something else? Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, bro. You're absolutely right about Sabonis. But Malik Monk, bro. Monk, that pickup, he was playing great for the Lakers last year. Like, he was a spark when they needed one. And
him and De'Aaron got that. They played a blue.
Yes,
baby.
You took the words right out of my head, bro. You took the words right out of my head. And I think that chemistry means a lot, bro. If only they can get Bam over there next.
That'd be tough, man.
But I just wanted to get that off because it made me think about that when you said Sabonis.
Nah, bro, it's just like, even on top of Malik Monk, like, you got Davion Mitchell, you got Terrence Davis, you got Kevin Huerter, you got Harrison Barnes, who's a veteran in this league. He's battle tested, championship experience. He brings that Warriors pedigree over there. I love it. You got Trey Lyles, who's a solid role player off the bench, and the way Mike Brown has these guys playing, they have arguably they play at the highest tempo in the league. Right. And the reason why I speak so highly of Sabonis is because he's like the machine that gets all this together. He's out there getting 7-8 assists. He's getting, he's gonna hit the glass, 16 of them things. Then if you need him to score, he's gonna score. De'Aaron is gonna be your 30. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I know people don't want to really take them seriously, but I think that the Kings want that. They want y'all to sleep on them. They want people to be like, this is not a real 2 seed. And you use that. I'm all about momentum and motivation, baby. So
absolutely. But question,
shout out to the Kings, man.
No, absolutely, and their fans. But question: if the Lakers are the 7th seed, who are you taking?
You know what, bro? I want to say the Lakers, but it's like, I can't trust the fucking Lakers.
I get it.
I can't fucking trust them.
I get it.
They'll be out there playing. They'll fuck around, go up 2-0. Then they drop 2 straight. Then next thing you know, they lose off a fucking buzzer. They're like that in that Mavericks game. I'm watching them break down on defense. Like they have all shooters out there. And you guys are doubling the ball. Just play straight up and take the overtime, bro.
Yeah.
AD sinking in the paint. He got fucking 3 bags of laundry on his shoulders and shit.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Oh, real quick, bro. Real quick hitter, bro.
Yes, yeah. Give it to me.
Lonzo Ball is about to have his 3rd surgery, bro. And, he's poised to miss arguably all of next season. I just want to hear your thoughts on, things happen in the NBA. Injuries happen. That shit is a part of the game. But for the Bulls to pay him what they pay him, and for him to have this setback like this, and I feel like that's a big reason why the Bulls haven't been up to par as they should be, because Lonzo was a great defender. He was shooting a 3-ball very well.
Absolutely.
Great passer, the cohesiveness that they was missing. So, take me through your thoughts on that situation with Lonzo.
Well, I think it's a tough situation. You hate to see it happen to anybody, right? Especially a player of his caliber. And like you said, they had high hopes for that Bulls team with Ball, Levine, and then DeMar, and they brought in Vucevic. They kind of built that up to kind of contend in the East, and it's hard to do it without your point guard. And like you said, it's Lonzo Ball. I like Lonzo a lot. I'm a big fan of Lonzo's game. I think it's unfortunate, right? But like you said, things like this happen, and you can deal with it one or two ways, right? You can let it affect you and feel like, why me? Or you can kind of look in the mirror and go, all right, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. I'm going to figure this out. I think mentally he needs to lock in, right?
Yeah.
Same thing we were talking about Zion not too long ago, but I think, and this is a little different because he's missing a lot of time too. But now you're missing the whole season next year. Like, this season's not even done.
Over with, yeah.
So I think mentally Lonzo needs to lock in, right? Whatever that may be. But he needs to mentally be in the right space first, right? Like, just relax off of basketball. Get your knee right, mentally get right, and then come back in, because we know what you can bring to the game. Like I said, bro, I hate to see that. Like, it's like, damn, I'm out all of next season. You know, like,
and I just missed all of this season, half of last season.
It's like, a lot, bro. It's a lot, bro. And being away from the game that long, too, you wonder how he's going to come back in. It's going to take some time to get back adjusted and things like that. But I think as long as he's straight up here, I think he'll find, it's like riding a bike. The game of basketball, you've been playing it since you were so young. Yeah, it's muscle memory. But mentally, he needs to get right.
I think he needs to reach out to a guy like Markelle Fultz, who's playing phenomenal right now for Orlando. I just texted my man the other day, my man Angel. He like, yo, put me on the show. I got the hot takes. But he was big on Markelle coming out of the draft. And, when he was going through the shoulder issues, he forgetting how to shoot, and then he had the injuries. But, I was able to catch one of his games last week, and just seeing his confidence, seeing where he's at from where he came from, it's a sight to see, bro. And it's phenomenal to see him go through that.
Leave it to my brother-in-law. He probably gonna say he MVP. This nigga Bob love Markelle Fultz, bro. For no reason. But no, he has been playing well. He has been playing well. He has.
But I think Lonzo reaches out to him, pick his brain a little bit on, certain things that he did. And, you can reach out to other players. There's other players that has went through, similar situations. But like you said, it's all about the mental. You don't want to fold. You don't want to transition back, keep your mindset in it. And the sad thing is, I don't think this Bulls team is going to be the same team. Like, when he does get back, I don't think this team is going to be together. No. So, that kind of sucks because, they had a nice window, but if Chicago doesn't blow this shit up this offseason, bro, they
should, bro. And as you were talking, I was thinking about where he could be a good fit, right? And I don't know. I'm hoping Milwaukee will keep Drew Holiday. But I think if Drew Holiday was to leave or something like that, I think Lonzo could kind of groom into that role. Playing with a guy like Giannis. Basically, what I'm saying is he needs to play with like one of the best players in the league, and I think you'll see Lonzo's game kind of complement them and can be championship basketball.